Hello, everybody, and welcome to the latest edition of Hacking with me. So this next box tray, it was surprisingly a little more difficult than I thought it would be. Not for the right reasons, though. I got stuck down a rabbit hole, kind of on purpose, due to both just bad enumeration and a willingness to branch out a bit. So what happened was I did some deer buster, etc., and it didn't catch the thing that I needed it to catch. And I didn't find it until my second time through. And so instead of doing that, I found something that I thought was an exploit, which might have been an exploit, but I couldn't get it to work. But I did spend a couple days learning some Python, so it was a very worthwhile endeavor. So in case you ever come across a situation like that, just make sure you try and look at it positively. So let's start off. Nmap, scan C, scan V, T5A, all ports on tray.pg. And that's going to find a few things. Not too much. So, let me tell you, I'm not much of a fan of derb. I tested out what I needed with GoBuster and DeerBuster, and they both caught what I needed. But derb did not. However, I do like derb's big.txt. So, and one bad thing about GoBuster is that it doesn't seem to out of the box do recursive enumeration. So in that case, DeerBuster is the thing to do. But I'm just going to demonstrate this with GoBuster. And it'll take 2 searches to really find what we're looking for. But this is fun. It's super fun. Let me just get this historical one out of here. Wordless big.txt. Tray.pg, and we don't need the ASP. While that's running, we see we have SSH, we have web, also Nginx. This has nothing on it. You know what? I never scanned it again with what's it called? With GoBuster or DeerBuster using the big.txt. So it could be there's something there. But you know, this is, maybe I'm using the wrong big.txt word list. I was comparing because there's user share DeerBuster wordless big, and then there's user share wordless. Oh, that's right. I want derb word list. All right, there we go. We've immediately got some additional things. So this right here, adminer, that's the first thing we want. So let's look at that. Get this over here. All right, adminer. We don't have any credentials, and let me just tell you, brute forcing doesn't work. So we look here, and we see there are other directories. Now you can look through all of them. I mean, there are only a couple, but the one we really want to look through is Mantis BT. So let's go back here and just put Mantis BT in. And it'll search for stuff in there. We see there's stuff. And what we're looking for is /config right there. Mantis BT /config. And what do you know? we have a directory with stuff. I got lucky enough. So the first thing to come up is just that. Obviously, there's nothing interesting there. Second thing is this. And immediately, what do you see? You see that stuff. We also see this. This actually is not important. I thought it might be, but it wasn't when I went to use it. But we've got this. Mantis user password at 123AS, database name, database type, etc. So let's get back to adminer. MySQL, even though it says like MySQLi there, MySQL just on its own is just fine. So the username is Mantis with 2 S's, user. Oh yeah, server is localhost. I typed it in last time. I don't know if you need to, but I did. Password at 123 capital AS. And then database is, I think that's Mantis. Yes. Login. Here we are. Very easily, you've got user table. And very easily, we can select it. Select all the data. Boom, right here. We have all this. Now, I went down a couple rabbit holes. Looking at this, if you try to un-MD5 it, nothing comes up. If you try to un-MD5 it using the salt, that crypto salt from here, again, nothing comes up. That's just a rabbit hole. The username we're looking for is Trey, and the password is that. And we use that over SSH. Just keep in mind, even though it says real name, that anything can be used as anything at any time. Excuse me. I've been up for a long time today, so my throat's getting a little froggy. All right, so what are we going to do? Sudo L, so we can shut down as root, or just shut down period. There's nothing interesting in ID. And let's see, what else can we look at? I didn't try this way, but let's try it. What we're looking for is a process that's owned by root. And it's not shown here. The way that I found it was with the Linux privilege escalation assistance script. Let's see if there are any other ways that I can find this without going to that. So let's see, root, yep, that's good. I'll just see how far we need to go to get to what we're looking at. This is what we're looking for. So this is basically a script that you know that root's running, and it's basically a service, and it's not standard. It's just what it's different. And that's kind of the point here. We look at, just before we do anything else, find set the normal perm 4000 dev null. There's very little here. It's just, so that's definitely a dead end. Let's look at user bin check status, check system. And we see it has 606 permissions. And then let's see what it says. And so what this is it's just a service that starts basically on startup. And we can leverage that. Root's going to be the one that runs it. And yeah, that's the party. So we can edit it. And we think, how can we leverage this? The thing we want to do, the most immediate thing to do, is to leverage a text editor. That way, when we reboot the system using shutdown, it'll come back up, and then we can open that text editor and edit whatever we want. We could edit shadow if we wanted to. We can edit password. That's the more happier one. We can edit anything we want using a root shell or a root editor. So let's go ahead and do this. V insert chmod plus s user bin nano. I sort of tried V, but I gave up on it. I never realized that V leads to etc V alternatives, so I've never played around with that. So I just stuck with nano. Nano's not terrible. Well, not too terrible. So we've got the edited. It's going to make nano SUID. Let's get a ping running, ping tray.pg. Now, again, we can do shutdown, not just shutdown, but sudo shutdown. Restart now. There it goes. It will come back up momentarily. SSH tray once it does come back up. There it goes. Let's see if we can get in. TR3 at 123456 capital A exclamation point. Super. LSLA user bin nano. And there is the SUID. So let's go. Nano etc password. Let's stop this ping because we got a little work to do. Now we're editing this as root. So what password do we want to edit? Obviously the root password, since we don't know it. Now, how do we put a password into the password file here? The solution to that is OpenSSL. OpenSSL, and my notepad closed down. Luckily it opened up very quickly. OpenSSL, and then let me just copy, paste. OpenSSL, password, and then that's a -1, or yeah, -1. Kind of reminded me of a -1. Password -1, salt, and then user3. That's going to be the username. So root, and then the password. And I like using password. It generates it just that quickly. Copy. Let me not get any white space in there. Copy. And we're in nano, so unfortunately I don't have any nice little things. I just get to like insert or open or X for deleting a character. It's fine. I deleted and then pasted. Control X to get to save, and then yes to save, and then same file name to write. Now very easily set user root. Was that a fail? Yeah, what did I do? I'll have to go back. Oh, that's what I did. I've been awake too long. I deleted a 0 instead of an X. You know, I'm so happy that I'm doing this video right now. I was thinking of not doing a write-up for this because this is really kind of a potato exploit. I got more out of just learning some Python. But yeah, here we are. Cat proof.text. Cat root proof.text. There we go. And I'm still a little ways away from getting some sleep, so don't worry about me. If you have any questions, put them down in the comments. And other than that, just keep on partying.